Hello students. As we have started with all the English lessons, and as you know children that English, it is the primary language, okay, and it is spoken all over the world. So as it is a primary language, it is very necessary that we have to improve while speaking English or while we are writing the English language. And here you know children that English subject is divided into three sections, that is reading, literature and grammar part. So far we have completed with the reading part, that is the passages we will be taking, then the literature, and now we are going for the next session, that is grammar part. So before starting with the lesson of grammar section, I want to introduce that what is grammar. See children, suppose now as a human being we have many parts, isn't it? We have structures, like we have our hand, we have our legs, we have our face, we can say we have our head, stomach, chest, neck, so many parts are there, as we all are human beings. So here also for grammar section also we have certain structures, and we use this grammar for the usage in English language or for the improvement of English. And what are those structures of grammar? Those structures of grammar are what? They are like sentences, you can say, clauses, phrases, you can see here we use punctuation marks, speech, voice, many more things, and all these structures we are going to study in this grammar section. So if you see your Holy Faith book, this is your grammar book for the grade 6 and again so on. So this is a grammar book, that is English grammar and composition, and this is for your grade 6 to 10th standard. So we will be starting with the basic grammar, and the first lesson we are going to start with grammar. First we have to know that what is grammar. So grammar, I just now I told you that it is the structure and it is usage of a sentence, or we use this grammar part in the English language. Now children, see, when we start with the grammar part, if you don't know the words, if you don't know the spellings, then we are unable to speak, or we are unable to even write a single alphabet also, until and unless you know the grammar part. And for that what we need, we primarily, if you go in KGs, when we all are studying in KG classes, we don't start with the big words, or we don't start with any sentences, we start with the alphabets. And those alphabets, you know children, those alphabets, and those 26 alphabets are there. We have capital letters and we have small letters. Now all capital letters you know, and small letters also you know, all the letters of English language you know, those are A to Z. And here see, now I want to tell you that this alphabets from A to Z, in this also it is divided into vowels and consonants. So first what I want to tell you, again what I want to tell you, that what is a grammar. Grammar is a, if you see grammar, grammar, it is a structure, okay, it is a structure, and we use, this is usage of grammar, usage of sentences we can say in our English language, or in your English subject. We use all these sentences, this is usage of sentence, or we use these sentences, or we create these sentences by using the structures, by using the phrases, by using the clauses, or by using some certain spellings or words. But to learn certain spellings or to learn certain words, we have to know the alphabets. And the next part, if you see here, we learn the words. Now words, they are like we can say, if you want to learn the words, it is very necessary for you that you should know the alphabets. If you don't know the alphabets, they are like A to Z. This is for a capital, and if you say small A to Z, this is for the small letters. So we need to know A to Z capital letters and even A to Z small letters, and these alphabets we use to form the words. Now if you see, if I write some alphabets, suppose if I write these alphabets, see children, it is very necessary that you should know these all the basic things for the improvement of your English. Suppose if I write all these alphabets, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y and Z. So if you count all these, there are 26 alphabets you can see in this on the board. So from all these 26 alphabets, here some we see here some two parts are there, that is vowels and the consonants. If you see how they are divided, these alphabets are divided into the two classes. They are, that is, first one is, we can say the first one is vowels. Now which are those vowels? A, E, I, O and U, and the remaining alphabets if you see, B, C, D, F, G, H, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z, and the remaining. So vowels are 5. Vowels are 5. And second, if you see, consonants. Consonants are 21. And you know the consonants, the remaining alphabets, they are the consonants. So once again I want to tell you that alphabets are divided into two classes. These all 26 alphabets, they are divided into two classes, that is vowels, those are 5, A, E, I, O, U, and remaining 21 alphabets, they are the consonants. And for the formation of any word, if I want to write, suppose if I want to write book, I just can't write like this. I have to use all the alphabets here to form a single word or any sentence also. So if I don't know these all alphabets, I am unable to write the words. Then if I want to, suppose if I want to write elephant, I just can't write, isn't it? I have to know all the alphabets. I should be introduced by all these alphabets. So it is necessary to, if you want to write some words, it is necessary to know all these alphabets. And if you want to write any sentence, we need to know the words. So this was all the basic about the alphabets. Then again, if you say, I want to ask the another new thing we are going to learn about from these alphabets, that is a syllable. Syllable, if you see one thing I want to tell you, if you want to learn a syllable. Syllable is what? Suppose if I write one word, elephant, I have taken this word from, joined all some of the alphabets from here and I have written that word elephant. Now if I see a word or a part of a word which consists of a vowel sound is known as a syllable. See now, if you see in this word elephant, in each this word we can say, in with this whole word we can say, everywhere we can see the sound of a vowel. For example, see now, E is a vowel, L, E, P, H, A and N, T. So here you can see the vowel sound of L, F, Ha, Ha and N, T. So if you, again one more example, if I will tell you, examination, this word we will take. Here also you can see there are syllables, EX, AM, IN, AT, ION. See how they have divided. if you find the sound of a vowel in each word, then those words are called as a syllable. A word or a part of a word. Suppose that is a word, examination is a word, and in that also, if a part of a word which consists a vowel, those vowel sound, those are called as syllables. Those are called as syllables. See, here you can see ex, x, then am. Here you can say a. Then again, if you see I and a. Next T, ti. Here also you can say. Then on. Here also you can see a vowel. Means in this word is a total word examination. If you see in these parts also, we can see we can hear the sound of that vowel. That here x, am, in, and tion, like the tion, examination. Means wherever we have that sound of a vowel in the parts of a word, if the whole word is given and if it is made into some parts, in each part we can hear the sound of a vowel, that is called as a syllable. That is called as a syllable. Now many more examples. If you take, for example, if you take some colors, we will take all the colors. You can see in each and every word we can find the vowels. In each and every word we can find the vowels. That is, suppose if I want to take view, here you can see u and e is a vowel. Then red, here also you can see a vowel. Okay, or if you want to take orange, here also you can see o, a, e. White, I and E. Or black, here A. Then or we can say white is over, or in purple color, purple. Here also you can see a vowel. It means in each and every word it is with a vowel. Each and every word is vowel. So I want to tell you from all these words that these words, they are a complete word, but when you make some parts of in each part we can of a vowel, and that sound of wherever it that part, that word, we can say it is those words are called as a syllable. Okay, I want to see what is the first. Again one time we'll see what is a grammar. Grammar, it is English language. Why? English language is a global language also we can all over the world, and to improve our language we need to know the alphabets, we need to know the grammar, its structure, and just we can't write on our own because those words meaningless. So it is necessary to know all the alphabets correctly and how to use it in properly in each word. And as I told you, the alphabets, it is divided into two classes, that vowels and next is consonants. Vowels, there are 5 vowels, A, E, I, O, and consonants there are 21 alphabet. The remaining alphabets 21, those all are consonants. And I told what is a syllable. Syllable, it is a word or a part of a word which consists of a vowel sound, that is known as a syllable. For example, I showed you with the example of the examination, and here see examination, or we can say butter, purple, orange. Now you can count the syllables. For example, here you can see how many syllables are there. Now here in this word you can see only one syllable is there. Only one syllable is there. But if you see in the other one, here 1, 2 and 3. Here 3 syllables are there. Means we can see a word is divided into 3, or here you can see only 1. Okay, like this also you can take, or in this way. Here also you can see 1 and 2. Here 2 syllables are there. I gave the previous example of examination. I gave the previous example of examination. Here you can see A, I, N, A, and this is T, I, O, N. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. So here we can find 4 syllables are there. If you take this purple example, here you can find 1 and this is 2. So the word which is what I want to say, that if the word is divided into several parts, those parts they are counted as syllables. So here in examination you can see there are 4 syllables. Here you can see only 1 syllable. Here you can see 3 syllables. Means each word is divided into a different number of syllables. So this was all the basic grammar. To see words, letters constitute functions, letters function words. All these letters they are used to function like a word. Means see children, we are I told you just few minutes before, I told you all are human beings, and we have in each we have so I told you just now that letters they function for the words. Means we have to use all these letters to form new different words. So what is the function of all these alphabets? To form words. Children, we all, I told you, we all are human beings. We have some different parts of our body that functions. See, we have lungs, we use lungs, we have nose to breathe, then we have hands to work, we have legs to walk. Means each and every part they do some function. In the same way, in grammar section also, these alphabets they do some function of forming the different words. And these both, see, each and every word if you see in the universe or in the whole world, if you go through, if you see, each and every word is made up of vowels also and consonants. Just we don't use vowels to form a word, or just we don't use consonants to form words, but we use, there is a combination of vowels and consonants to form any word. Suppose if I want to write somebody else's name, if I want to write a name, if I want to write Rohan, see here you can see this one is a consonant, H is a consonant, N is a consonant, but we are not, if I write only R, H and N, does it make any meaning? No. So we need some vowels over here. So I have written here O and A in the middle, means O and A, that is a vowel. So any word is a combination of vowels and consonants. For example, if I write one more word, if I take any other word, if I write carrot, here also we need, if you see here now, if I don't write C, just I will write A and O. Does it make any meaning? No, it doesn't make any meaning. So we need to write some, now here vowels are written. So we need some consonants also. Suppose if I take this C, then A, here double R and O and T, and it forms a new word, that is a carrot. So what is a word? That it is a combination of vowels and consonants. So if you want to form a word, we need both vowels and even the consonants, and these alphabets they function to form different new words. Now if you, for example, I will tell you some words like sing, read, dance, or some other words we can say eat, sleep. All these words are the new words where we find the combination of both vowels and consonants. Now if you turn for the next part of phrases. So first we have completed with the alphabets, second we have completed with syllable, next we have completed with the words. First we completed what is the alphabets. Second, we have completed with syllable. What is a syllable? Third, we have seen what is a word, or words we can say. What are words? Now, if the next part we will be moving, that is phrases. What are phrases? What are phrases? Phrases is, see, if you see, a phrase is a group of words which does not make a complete sense. If I write only this one, if I write like this, in the east, children, you are not going to understand what teacher has written in the east. You may be worried that what teacher exactly she want to tell you. If you write only this much, you are not going to understand. So we need some more words to help out for these words to complete the meaning of the sentence. Means what? See now. Suppose what I told, a phrase is a group of words which does not make a complete sense. These are group of words in the east. These are some of the group of words and they doesn't make any meaning in the east, but you are not understanding what is in the east. I want to tell that I want to go in the east part, or if I want to say the sun rises in the east, you are not able to understand, or you are in the confusion. If I write only few words which does not make a complete sense, and these few words, these all few words which does not make a complete sense, those are called as phrases. Okay, those are called as phrases. And then if you want to complete the sentence, a phrase constitutes a single element in a sentence. This is a single element, means this is a single small words we can say which does not make a complete sense, but a phrase expresses an idea shortly, but we come to get an idea that I want to say something about that in the east. Shortly it express an idea. Okay, little bit we can understand that something I am talking about east. The word in a phrase are closely related to each other and the phrase functions as a whole in a sentence. See, suppose if I write now this sentence in this way, if I write like this, the sun rises if I want to write, if I write the sentence like this, the sun rises in the east. Now previously we have taken a phrase that is in the east, and that time you did not understand what was the teacher saying. You did not understand when I wrote only in the east. But now I have written a complete sentence, that is the sun rises in the east. Now if you see, this is one element, or this is one part of the sentence, and this is the other part. Now these two parts, they depend on each other. If I write only the sun rises, then you are not going to understand, means half of the part you will be known to, but the remaining part you have to, you go on thinking that what the teacher she wants to tell you. If I write only the sun rises, you are not going to understand, or if I write only in the east, that time also you are not going to understand. So you need some more words to form a complete sentence, to form a meaningful sentence, and if we write in that way, then the sentence will be a complete sentence and it will be a meaningful sentence. Means they are dependent on each other. This first part and the second part, they are closely related to each other, or they are dependent on each other to complete the meaningful sentence. So phrase is what? A phrase is a group of words which does not make a complete sense. If I write only half words, you are not going to understand. Suppose if I write like this also, one more example if I take, on the road. If I write on the road, means you may be saying what teacher she wants to tell, what is on the road. If I want to tell the dog is on the road, or the cat is sleeping on the road, or I want to play on the road, you may be worrying, isn't it? Here you can add some more words in before the phrase. Okay, here on the road is an incomplete sentence. It is just one part of the sentence. So if I want to complete a meaningful sentence, if I want to write a one meaningful sentence, I want to use some more words so that the sentence will be complete and it will be meaningful. So now if I write like this, that she found a pen on the road. She found a pen on the road. Now your idea is clear. Here on the road I have written only one phrase. Now your idea will be clear. Acha, my teacher, she wants to tell that she found a pen on the road. Now you got a clear idea that I have found something on the road, I have found a pen on the road, or I want to run on the road. So all these things, if you will go through this, all these two sentences, you can see the phrase is incomplete and we cannot say that the sentence is completed. So we need some more words, we have to add some more words so that your sentence will be completed and it will be meaningful. So in a sense, what I want to say, what is a phrase? A phrase is a phrase, they are the group of words which does not make a complete sense, it is incomplete, and we need some more words to add so that the sentence will be completed, it will be meaningful. Now next, so till we have till now we have studied till all the alphabets, isn't it? We need alphabets to form the words. Then syllable, in alphabets we can see we find many syllables. In each word we can find many syllables. Next part we have seen the words. Words means what? The combination of vowels and consonants, and then we find very new words. The next part we have seen, that is phrases. We have seen phrases. Now one more part we are going to see, that is sentences. That is sentences. Okay. So what is a sentence? Sentence is a group of words which makes a complete sense, isn't it? Sentence is a group of words which make complete sense. If I'll take the same examples, just now I told phrase is a group of words which does not make a complete sense, but I've added some more words here, isn't it, before the phrase. So I've added these words to form a complete sentence. So what is a sentence? Sentence is a group of words. All these are the group of words. The sun rises in the east. All these are the group of words. They are arranged very properly. They have a verb. Okay, and the starting alphabet is written with a capital letter. It has ended with the full stop. So all these rules are there in this sentence. So this sentence is a complete sentence or a meaningful sentence. So sentence is what? How we can define it? That sentence is a group of words which has a complete meaning, and the sentence, it consists verb. The first alphabet always it is written with capital letter, and the sentence, it ends with full stop. It ends with full stop. Sometimes it ends with question mark, or sometimes it ends with an exclamation mark. So later on we'll be seeing what are the types of sentences. Okay, children, up till now we have studied, so far we have studied about the grammar, what is the grammar, and then all these 5. I hope you all have understood till here. And just to go through all this in your Holy Faith book. Thank you, children.